Weekend. Merci.
Thank you, Sonette. What a privilege to have our honorary Council of Canada with us here to enjoy watching their national team, the Royal Canadian Air Force Snowbirds, perform for us here today. What a show we do have here, folks. We're going to be turning back over to our folks here at Airshow Center in just a moment, but we do have the United States Navy Blue Angels with us. We have the F-22 Raptor. This is literally an all-star review. Take it away, guys.
Let me just see how many video this fly over. Hold on, there's another one coming.
Call guard and present arms.
What? Jumpers. I know.
At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise for our Canadian national anthem. At this time, we'd like to ask you to please remain standing for our Star-Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
Again, a great big shout out to all of our great volunteers. Coming around the corner right now, we've got our C-47. That's all brother. And I'll tell you what, 82 years ago today, That's All Brother was a pretty busy airplane, as it was actually one of this aircraft actually was a participant in the D-Day invasion, and that aircraft was there. It's returned and participated in the 70th and 75th anniversary of the skies for the United States Air Force for over 50 years. Now you can join that team that is building the F-15 fighter jets right here in St. Louis. Visit again the Boeing.com/St. Louis jobs and stop by the Boeing career booth in the STEM area to find out about that. Right now we can see you launching out here at Airshow Center. They are the world famous Titan aerobatic team. Known throughout the world. they're flying the historic World War II trainer known as the North American Aviation AT-6 Texan. It's powered by a 1,340 cubic inch, 600 horsepower Pratt Whitney radial engine. That 9-cylinder engine is where it gives that gigantic roar from that propeller being spun at about 2,300 RPM. About the final 4 inch of each prop tip from the Learjet Falcon 20 all the way up through the big Airbus A330 and warbirds such as the P-40, the P-51 Mustang, as well as the Yak-9. He was introduced to airshow flying in the late 1970s by legendary airshow performers Marion Cole and Merle Gustafson. Jimmy retired from Delta Airlines. And now as they approach from Airshow right. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the premier civilian airshow formation aerobatic team in the world today. They are the Titan Aerobatic Team. Ladies and gentlemen, as they come in right now, they are what is known as the Vic formation. It's a big V as we look with each wingman off the wing of the lead aircraft. Now as we watch them go into the vertical right there. As they reach the top of that loop, Jimmy Fordham looks back, sets his head back in the canopy, and lines himself up on his FA-mandated airshow control line, flies under the classic loop out there at Airshow Center. All right, he's got good energy. Jimmy's okay, here we go, guys. Brings that stick back into his lap, goes straight back up, across the top. Energy's good, altitude's good. He's coming right on around, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, as they fly that beautiful Vic formation. Look at the wing overlap on those aircraft. Half of each wing of the wingmen are down the wingtip of the lead pilot. Now as we watch him swing around out here off of Airshow left. They're doing a big old barnstormers time, but turn around out there off of Airshow left, the big wing over turnaround. Coming in right now, that's the course, that's all brother, the big C-47 that kicked off our show, dropping off our shooter's parachute team. Great job out there by That's All Brother. Now we're going to watch one of the most difficult maneuvers for our formation team. Keep your eye on our so he has to roll faster, he has to fly faster. But now when they get to the inverted, he now is on the inside, so he has to decelerate. Both the and roll rate. Oh, beautiful job of staying in formation. Right now, have your eyes glued on the Titan team as they set up for their beautiful downward bounders. In the bottom of the aircraft, as they punch into the vertical, into that blue sky, right on up, straight up, straight up, straight up as they go, coming across the top, now as they come down across the bottom here, let's watch as they split out there, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, the beautiful downward. Jimmy Fordham goes out of Airshow Center. We got Steve and Brian going into the end zones. They're coming back across the top. They're doing a half cube and 8-style turnaround in each end zone. 5 8 through the loop, they ease forward on the stick through a half roll. And now as they approach dramatically after each other from Airshow left and right. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Gustafson, miles an hour as they go across. As they do the double cross loop. We see the single cross there at the bottom. Right on up. And now, approaching from our right, we've got, of course, Jimmy Fordham coming into the aerobatic container here. Jimmy calls this a tall loop. Jimmy calls this one the tall loop because he goes straight up, straight up, straight up, comes across, he bleeds off energy, and now he flies an airplane right on around. Beautiful, big, tall loop out there by Jimmy Fordham. Now as we watch them, you'll see how they quickly rejoin out here off of Airshow. As they swing around in that left end zone, you can see them set up. They're going to be setting up now for the next portion of their air show. We saw the formation barrel roll. What they basically a barrel roll is that you're flying the aircraft right around the outside of a barrel. And right now we're going to see the in-trail barrel roll as they come right back at us here. One's in, two's in, and there's number 3. He's in. Now you can see Brian has joined up on the right wing. Steve is cutting off the corner there to quickly rejoin in that right end zone as they rejoin into the Vic formation. STEM Expo, their salute. They're still there, folks. Kind of like the Lone Ranger with a cloud of smoke and a Hardy Silver. All right, I think they're still there. Scott didn't taxi out. There we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Jimmy Fordham out here.
Of this possible Titan aerobatic team. I love watching them. I never get tired of watching them. They are some phenomenal pilots, some phenomenal gentlemen, and they actually partook in a flight this morning. Some STEM young winners got a chance to be in their aircraft this morning. So if they're out there, there's some mentors out there as well. The STEM winners there, what an awesome opportunity to go up in the air with these legendary gentlemen.
Another thing we want to talk about, of course, is our Red Tail Cadet program, founded by Anthony Myers of the Crossing Church. They present Class 6 and Class 5, honoring the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen by equipping local youth with elite aviation flight training, STEM education, leadership, skills, and the confidence to shatter glass ceilings. The program is a brilliant example of the positive, forward-thinking momentum driving St. Louis forward with investments in the next generation of innovators and leaders. Class 5, the first all-woman Red Tail Cadet class who trained last summer, included Yelena Dominguez, also Mackenzie Mansari, also Jenny Patterson, Emma Turner, Antonio Umana, and Layla Williams. And our Class 6 is set to start their first day of flight training on Monday, right here at the Spirit of St. Louis Airport. The cadets are Cameron Carter, London Hawkins, Joseph Renault, Zariah Rouse, and Rocco Smith. Hey, please congratulate all of our Red Tail Cadets. Thank you for being with us, and hope you enjoy the show. But how cool is that, huh? Thank you so much for everyone involved in making that Red Tail Cadet program possible. As we watch out here right now, Jimmy Fordham is leading his Titan aerobatic team up here to show center. Brian Reagan, Steve Gustafson with him here as they taxi in. And now, folks, as we look out here at Airshow Center, let's watch as our Titan 40 cubic inches of 9 cylinders on the around in the in-trail barrel roll, right on around. Beautiful display. Right on around. Let's watch as they come into the 5/8 point loop, at least forward on the stick. They break the loop, execute a half roll on that one. Zone. Smoke on, power up, airspeed building dramatically. Jimmy's showing about 200, 210, 215. They're going 220 as they come right down our show line here. Airshow Center, bringing those aircraft right on up and around. You can see that as they do that offset barrel roll here, giving you a really nice view of how nicely tight they stay during a very difficult maneuver. Wait a minute. As they arc around out there in our left end zone, setting up out here off of Airshow left. All right, as we look out here in the left end zone, you can see our team rejoining as they come down our show line here. Nice parade and review pass right down the line. You can see Titan at the bottom of the wings there. Interval 2 is in trail. Our second pilot today is First Lieutenant Landon Mule Compton. He's an active Air Reserve A-10 attack pilot with the 303rd Fighter Squadron out of Whiteman as well. He's got 3 years of United States Air Force service. As we watch right now, as they go into the attack mode, A-10 has, of course, proven to be absolutely an incredible asset to the United States Air Force over the years, providing close ground support as well as air support to places that otherwise could not be attacked or defended. As we watch on your victory back on target, a little more about our number 2 pilot today. That's, of course, First Lieutenant Landon Neil Compton, and he comes from Lamar, Missouri, attended school at Missouri S&P, graduated in 2019, and went to work as a flight test engineer test conductor on the F-15 QA program for 3 years at Boeing right here in St. Louis. He got hired by the 303rd in 2022, and he completed A-10 pilot training in 2024. He has 1 combat deployment with just under 100 combat hours supporting Operation Repair and Resolve in the Middle East this past summer. Combat decorations include the Air Medal and the Repair and Resolve Campaign Medal. Overall, he has over 400 hours in the A-10 and more than 800 total flying hours. And 2 20mm cannons, which was extremely heavy firepower at the start of the war. This fighter was powered by the Nakajima Seikei engine, which produced 1,130 horsepower. Over time, as the war in the Pacific escalated, American production kicked into high gear, and the Allies developed better tactics, and the Zero-ness pilots increasingly fell victim to the United States Navy and other Allied fighters. This hero we have here with us today is a combat veteran. She was pulled out of Dabo Airfield in the jungles of the western part of the island of New Guinea in 1991 by David Price of the Santa Monica Museum of Flying. It was restored mostly in Russia during the mid-1990s. X-133 was returned to the States where fighter rebuilders at the Chino Airport completed the restoration, including the engine installation, and returned her to flying status in 1998. Though much of the aluminum wiring and radios are new, significant portions of the original aircraft survived, including the landing gear, some of the cockpit, and the internal structure of the tail. She is powered by a Pratt Whitney 1,834 cubic inch engine for the Air Force Air Education Training Command. What do all 4 of these aircraft have in common? They're all made right here in St. Louis. And you can join that team that builds it. Visit Boeing.com/STL jobs or stop by the Boeing Careers booth in the STEM area at the Air Force Airshow today to see how you can join the Boeing St. Louis team. And right now, we've got taken off. That is an actual Zero there. That aircraft was one that was recovered and restored. So it's really great to see the Zero with us here today. And right behind it, its adversary, that of course being the F6F, the Grumman Hellcat. On the takeoff right behind it, ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft is London as well as all of England there during the Battle of Britain. That is the Supermarine Spitfire. Our number 4 aircraft, 51D Mustang. In the number 5 position, that's Bentley Bird, ladies and gentlemen. Captain, just for you, the first
for ground operators to see which way that the A-10 is turning. So depending on how they brake, take a look and either see the canopy on one side or the false canopy on the other.
All right, we can see it coming over from our right shoulder right now, coming overhead. Great photo opportunity as they joined up in a nice formation pass right down our show line. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that's Captain Eric Frog Matheson and First Lieutenant Landon Mule Compton from the 303rd Fighter Squadron at Whiteman Air Force Base right here in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, the A-10 Thunderbolt 2s. The nose gear. And as John was mentioning to us a little earlier, that this makes it a little bit more unusual to actually move on the ground for our ground handlers because it doesn't pivot in the center like most airplanes. So it's some very unique features to the A-10, and we're thrilled to be able to watch this operate for us here today, right here from the
through the engines to get all that soot off that all of those rounds create. It really is just an awesome machine. But you're right, Bill, it is built around that 30 mil.
As we know, most airplanes, the nose wheel is in the center of an airplane. But the A-10 Thunderbolt 2s, we also come back with a very unique flying form. The A-10 Hellcat rapidly earned a reputation as the zero killer in the Pacific Theater during World War II. Built in late 1945, this particular Hellcat was too late to see service during World War II. It was sent to a training unit in the Great Lakes before being stricken from the naval inventory. Right now, as we come by again, it looks like our Hellcat may have put a few rounds into that zero there, but our pilot has not given up on him. He's staying right with him. Rescued from an airline flight during this fall. It is painted in the colors of the Navy's highest former World War II ace. That's Commander David McCampbell, Air Group 15 Commander on board USS Essex. And although the Zero massive impressive tally in the early World War II, the introduction of the Hellcat radically altered the Pacific theater of war in the favor of the Allies. The Hellcat's faster speed, heavy firepower, ruggedness, and these are fighters here, the Zero, Mustang, and Spitfire.
You know, Phil, I remember reading about the Spitfire and all the historical data behind that. Coming up your show center, you have that Navy flight. I actually grew up, I was a Navy brat, so being able to see a lot of this historical stuff here on this show is just truly amazing. We talk about
racking up an impressive 2,100 hours in that tank killer and participating in combat operations over Bosnia. In addition to the F-6 Hellcat today, he's also checked out the Southern California TBJ Mitchell. Soon flying zero in SoCal's Spitfire R-14. He now flies the friendly skies as a captain for United Airlines and lives in Sask. From your left, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Supermarine Spitfire. Again, as we talk about all the aircraft we have performing for us here today, of course, the Spitfire with that beautiful elliptical wing. That is their trademark. Look at that, was being flown for us today by Warren Peach out of Minot, North Dakota. Look at that beautiful aircraft right now on the deck. Blending in there, that's that wing really start to fight in that air. Diving in fast. He's got a big head of steam as he comes Airshow Center. That aircraft is also powered by the Rolls-Royce drones. We watch him carve that sky up into four beautiful 90-degree slices with a 4-point hesitation roll. We'll be talking about that Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Is very unique as we talk about it. It's very much like a car engine, as it's a V12, and it does require coolant. The Zero, and we have, of course, on the inside, we've got the Supermarine Spitfire from Battle of Britain, and out there on the outside, here is we've got our three naval aircraft coming down the line out here. We've got, as we watch them come into the container, we've got on the inside here, we've got the Corsair. In the lead there is the innovative Bearcat that's on the far left, and in the lead is the Hellcat. As we watch them swing down our shoulder.
They helped everyone get all of these grounds set up for the aircraft that you are seeing today on the ground, along with recovering some of these aircraft that you are seeing flying. So props to them, giving them a big hand. They call themselves the A-Team. And don't forget to look at the STEM area. That expo was just truly amazing. We have a wonderful team led by Miss Kayla. There's welding over there. There's 3D printing, robotics, the Boeing trailer. Kids, get over there and experience a lot of just awesome stuff. You're talking all of those things, and it's all right here. One of the most premier in the country. That's STEM Expo right behind us here at Show Center.
We do again want to thank another one of our great sponsors. Of course, that is Enterprise. Enterprise Mobility is honored to be an official sponsor of the Spirit of St. Louis Airshow and STEM Expo, in addition to being a lifelong St. Louisian. And their founder, Jack Taylor, was a Navy Hellcat pilot in World War II, flying from none other than the USS Enterprise from a fleet of 7 cars. More than 6 decades ago, Enterprise Mobility has grown into a global network featuring car and truck rentals, car sales, fleet management, and van pooling, and more. They are proud to support the communities and neighborhoods in which they operate around the world. EnterpriseMobility.com. Also want to thank Signature Aviation. Welcome to the Spirit of St. Louis Air Show, proudly sponsored by Signature Aviation. We're honored to be part of the event that celebrates aviation, inspires the next generation through STEM and innovation. From safety to service, Signature Aviation is here to support every journey. Enjoy the show. Also want to give a big shout out to Phillips 66. Phillips 66 Aviation is proud to sponsor the Spirit of St. Louis Air Show. Visit phillips66aviation.com to learn about our programs and offerings for pilots and FBOs, the leaders in aviation, welcomes you to the show. All right, from Airshow left, we've got our F8A Bearcat coming down the show line here. He's got a nice high-power run coming right down the line. The Bearcat, of course, was developed just a little bit too late to enter World War II service. And but boy, I'll tell you what, they certainly have made their mark otherwise. Made that Bearcat an incredible machine to stand on.
About those maintainers, they're all over the grounds, putting their time and effort into all of these platforms to make sure that they fly and they do their mission correctly, 100%.
And as you mentioned, we get a chance to get up close and personal with some of these aircraft. As you can see right now, the Corsair taxiing back in, and many of our other aircraft positioning, or you'll be able to visit with them in the crowd area here. So, again, folks here with the Airshow Network, I want to remind you, are you getting hungry? Did you smell the great food being cooked just for our guests? Well, visit one of our friendly concession stands to enjoy a wide variety of outstanding food to include sizzling chuck steak burgers, quarter-pound all beef hot dogs, chicken tenders, cheesesteaks, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, loaded barbecue nachos, chicken pitas, Tire Heroes, jumbo soft-baked pretzels, and delicious pizzas. Sit back and relax with a refreshment. We have ice cold water, Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, or Powerade.
Corsair just folded his wings up.
So as we're talking about,
again, just had a little preemptive right now. We can see Matt's out there on the runway. The smoke is on, and it's showtime once again right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt
Now on
Yonkin.
takeoff roll with Smoke On, Matt Yonkin in the Twin Beach 18.
Like his father Bobby and grandfather Jake, well known for their flawed facets of aviation. Before him was also the first to achieve the Appalachian 2012 World War Championship and the 2020 Airshow Aerial Championship Award. Back learned to fly at the age of 14 by the age of 1928, traveling at 4,000 bikes. Today, has flown nearly 1 million RC models and later refining them in the Super Decathlon. Let's listen to those big Pratt & Whitney R985 engines, sponsored by Tulsa Aircraft Engines. Tip and come right down, give you a nice deep platform view of the engines as he swings around out here off Airshow left, putting it right down on the deck, extending out. Now as the nose comes up, starts that roll right on around. There's a half. There's a full roll right there. There's 2 full rolls to the left. Now let's watch. He sets back up to Airshow left. Demonstrates for us the roll to the right out here off of Airshow Center. Bring those wings right on around, ladies and gentlemen. The rolling pass of Matt Yonkin. This airplane that is flying for us today is the Beech 18. It was built in 1943 by the Beechcraft Corporation in Wichita, Kansas. The airplane was brought new by the United States. You saw him do a loop. Now we're going to see Matt attempt the 8-point hesitation. Well, let's watch it right out here. Airshow center, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Youngkin. There's one. There's two to the right edge. There's three. Four to the inverted. There's five. There's six to the right. There's seven. 8-point hesitation roll. Matt Youngkin and the Beech 18. Unbelievable seeing a big aircraft like that taking care of business. Matt Youngkin, what a pilot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him. Matt's now going to show us his rolling pass. You're going to actually see 3 separate rolls here. He's going to do 2 to the left and 1 to the right, winding it up and winding it out as we watch out here off of Airshow left, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke billowing. All the aircraft accessories, AC Air Technology, ACF-50 aircraft lubricants, Acme Aero suspensions, Acorn Welding aircraft exhaust systems,
Ladies and gentlemen, as we have a quick moment, the Spirit of St. Louis Airshow is proudly supported by Purina. For generations, Purina has called St. Louis home, supporting people, pets, and the community that we share. Thank you to Purina for all the continued commitment to the St. Louis region.
Did you get, hey, do you have sunscreen here real good?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they're getting red. I just don't want you to get
For RBC Group, the Spirit of St. Louis Airshow and STEM Expo is proudly sponsored by Peter Sadler and the Marketing Street Group of RBC Wealth Management, supporting clients in your financial goals at themarketstreetgroup.com. Also looking out for Stone Ledge Distillery in Defiance, Missouri.
Matt Youngkin giving you his salute out here in Airshow. Away from the cockpit, got the smoke on of both engines as he swings around out here at Airshow Center. Ladies and Matt Youngkin in the Beech 18.
Yep.
2, 4, 5, 10, 1. Have a great one. 2 back. 1 back. Hurry up.
Your 2026 Canadian Forces Snowbirds!
airplanes that are built in the 1940s still going to work for a living every weekend. So, you know, they're going to get themselves a better union boss, aren't they? Again, as we watch out here off of Airshow Center, then we get a chance to see the A-10 Thunderbolt 2 fly for us. Of course, the incredible display of vintage warbirds that flew for us earlier today as we watched the snowbirds land out here. Again, they don't do anything without making it with panache as we watch them swinging out there, landing 3 aircraft abreast. One group right after the other. We've got 3 on the runway, 3 on short final as they cross the threshold, and 3 more right behind them out there on final approach to land. Your 2026 brought today at Air Force, Canadian Forces, Snowbirds. What a treat to have them with us here, folks. I hope you give them another great big hand. I'll tell you what, we are just thrilled to have them with us here. They've put on a great show, coming to us all the way from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and what a treat to have them on board with us.
I'll tell you what, Phil, when we had the opportunity yesterday at our social to declare St. Louis County actually declared June 5th Snowbird Day, right? For the local area. How cool is that?
That is cool, isn't it? Again, it's really cool to know that. We won't be seeing the Snowbirds again for a few years after this weekend. So, what a treat as they kick off the 2026 Air Show season right here.
This one's very quiet. What do we
Just
do
beautiful,
for
ladies
dinner
and gentlemen.
tonight?
The P-38 Lightning.
Yeah.
Just cleared. Steve-O Hinton on the takeoff right now. You can see it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. Look at that very unique plane platform. Had to listen to the sounds of those twin Allison engines as they go by right now. They've got big superchargers up on the top of the cowling.
That's right.
And as you watch out here off here, show left, Steve-O's coming back, cruising down our show line here. Beautiful sights and sounds of the Lightning. We've been out here a couple of years. I don't know about you, John.
And Steve hit the slides so well. We had the opportunity to talk to him yesterday. I think he's 11 or 12 certified aircraft, and you talk to him, as humble as can be, as talented as can be.
As a kid growing up in Eagle, absolutely incredible aircraft, the Eagle, and again, the EX that we got a chance to see here a few years ago, just unbelievable what it can do, built right here in St. Louis.
Nah, he's not landing.
And from show left, you can see the last pass from Steve-O Hinton, P-38 Lightning.
All right, his final pass again, the P-38. Expo. Again, we want to make sure you have all of our great volunteers.
Condon Papa. I can't take it.
High-speed pass.
to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United States Air Force.
Even more. Not done yet.
And he's gonna what? He's gonna be flying upside down. Let's watch here, folks. He's coming out right now. He got it, folks. Top ribbon only. Ladies and gentlemen, that is some kind of climb. That is Skip Stewart. And now as we watch more share left. We're playing around. Skip says, you know, we got one more ribbon sitting out there right now. He's not the guy need to slice it. Says he's gonna slice it. Let's watch. Now as we watch, he's coming in right now. He's on knife edge flight. I think I know what he means by he's gonna slice it. He's gonna try to slice it in knife edge. Let's watch here. He's got the guy slicing, right goes. He's gonna make it. He's gonna go really, really low right now, folks. Look at how low he is right now with that wingtip. And he cuts the ribbon, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing it right here at.
Diamond is rolling. As they pass before you, you will notice the smoke is no longer visible while the engines are in afterburner. To the left, Blue Angels. can it be as they perform the opposing knife edge pass.
It don't get better. No, read what I wrote. I'm a bestseller. Yeah.
Aircraft 360 degrees crossing center point. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. Major locks will establish a mirror image formation. However, look closely as both aircraft are in the carrier-landing configuration. As they approach for maneuver, we call the Fortus. To the left, the Diamond is setting up for their next maneuver. Approaching center point on Captain Brian's command. All four pilots will simultaneously roll their aircraft 360 degrees as they perform the Diamond Aileron Roll. Here's Captain Brian.
A little pulse. Eddie, hit it.
Slow-speed handling characteristics of the F-18. Captain Brian has called for the extension of the landing gear and tailhooks by the four Diamond pilots. As they execute maneuver performed by no other jet demonstration team in the world today, from the left, the Diamond Dirty Loop. Having rolled their aircraft 270 degrees and crossed with minimum... From behind the spectator, crossing center point, they'll complete 2 consecutive rolls, totaling 720 degrees, with a combined closure rate of over 800 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing horizontal rolls.
Mucha novia, hoy tengo a una, mañana otra.
Of the F-18. The 2 solo pilots will next demonstrate precision roll rate control. Crossing center point, they'll roll their aircraft 360 degrees, pausing after each 90 degrees of rotation. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing 4-point hesitation roll. Perform an individual brake turn and exit the flight line in a separate direction. Pulls to level. Each pilot will perform an individual brake turn and exit the flight line in a separate direction. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel barrel roll. Show center.
From the life I live when I am old.
the Blue Angel Diamond. Separation. F-18 in the clean configuration. They'll pass before you virtually standing Blue Angels 5 and 6 on their tails. At less than 120 miles per hour, the fly-by-wire flight controls provide the slow speed handling that sets the Super Hornet apart in the air-to-air combat arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the section High Alpha Pass.